What's up, gamers? It's the new year. You know what that means. It's time to review some anime. And there was a lot of hype coming into this year with a bunch of high-profile shows coming out. So let's see how they turned out. First, we got the winter season, which was a slow start to the year, being propped up by shows from the year before. First was Blue Lock, which gave us more hype-ass fucking soccer. Especially with that final 4v4. I was fucking celebrating after every goal. Next is the Emeralds and Shadow, which gave us a modern version of every edgy, overpowered 2010s anime that we didn't know we needed. Next is My Hero Academia, which had the Deku Batman arc. I have to say this was better than past seasons, but this was still pretty dog shit. Next is To Your Eternity Season 2, which I liked a lot more than the first season. But to be honest, I don't really have anything to say about this show. It's kind of just a nothing burger. Next is Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro, which didn't blow up as much as the first season. But still, I really like the relationship between Nagatoro and the MC. But what did blow up was Season 2 of Vinland Saga, which was a surprise to many because this season took a slower pace, focusing more on redeeming Thorfinn. This is where we got the "you have no enemies" meme. Overall, I liked the new season, though there were some really slow parts that I found boring. And I kind of wish we focused more on Canute. Next is the spring anime season, which had Season 3 of Demon Slayer. This season was kind of disappointing. It wasn't as good as the second season, and it only really had one good fight scene. But what didn't disappoint this season was the original shows. First, we got Hell's Paradise, which had a really unique setting, basically being a shonen show if it was made by From Software. Next is My Hero, which was one of the more underrated anime of this season, which was about this guy killing his daughter's boyfriend and then having to hide it from the Yakuza. I think the main reason many people didn't watch it because the animation kind of sucks ass, and also like the first few episodes are pretty slow. Next is My Level 9900 Love Story. Man, that title fucking sucks ass. Anyway, this show was a pretty refreshing take on the romance genre, with it having a female MC. Next is Cheats Guild in Another World, which had an interesting concept of like the MC being able to go between like the isekai world and the real world. But this just led to goofy ass shit happening. Like, this dude fucking fights like a biker gang and like a bear for some fucking reason. And besides those things happening, overall the show was pretty boring. And for the last original show of this season, now coming into the year, Oshinoko was definitely one of the most anticipated anime. And man, did it deliver. You guys get it because she's like pregnant in the first episode. I'm sorry. But anyways, I went into the show knowing a little bit about the premise, and the show just ended up just like blowing away my expectations. With it not only being just about like idol culture, but also taking a deep dive into like Japanese media culture overall. But it also had some of the best emotional moments of the year, as well as having one of my favorite moments in anime this year. This happens on episode 12 when the new Bikamachi group performs. And at first it's going alright, but it doesn't feel the same without Ai until this moment happens. And the only reason I like this scene is because I had the same reaction as this goofy ass guy. And it doesn't really happen often in anime where I feel like the same thing as like the characters on the screen. Next is the summer season, which followed the trend of being pretty sequel heavy. Though we did get Zom 100, which is about our boy Akira working at like a black company and then finally quitting his job because of a zombie apocalypse and then living out the rest of his life goals. I ended up really liking Akira and really connecting with him. And this show was pretty good. Although it looked like we were going to get an ending because it like fucking got like taken off air for a bit. Though the rest of the episodes came out for Christmas. As for the rest of the original shows for that season, they were all pretty dog shit. But out of all of these, the best one was definitely Liar Liar, which was like No Game No Life, but if you added all the tropes of a high school anime. Now for return shows, we had Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. With the first half of the season taking place in like the past with like a younger Gojo, which was just an excuse for the anime to have some crazy ass fucking fight scenes with like Gojo's powers. I mean, just fucking look at this shit. But it wouldn't hit his full stride until the second part of the season with the Shibuya arc, which was just fucking crazy, which had like back to back fucking animated fights of the year. It was actually like insanely crazy. Although the only way the anime achieved this was through Mappa fucking mistreating its animators. We got more of the beautiful world of Jobless Reincarnation, though this season decided to take a slower pace and focusing on Rudis' fear of women. He's just like me for real. Speaking of which, we got Rent a Girlfriend Season 2, which means we got more of my L-Man's Chazama. But luckily, we have Best Girl of All Time, Ruka-chan. Though this left everyone else in the season in the battle for fucking mid. This left the anime community in the battle for waifus leading into the fall, which only one MC could stop.
二人とも 俺と付き合ってください。
Fall season started on fire with 100 Girlfriends, which you would think is just a trashy romance show, but was actually one of the funniest animes of this year, being equal to the greats like Konosuba. Next is Undead Unluck, which was one of the biggest surprises of this year. It has one of the most unique modern anime worlds I've seen so far, and the powers are just really fucking cool. Next is MF Ghost, which is a sequel series to Initial D, which means we got more Deja Vu. So hard to be me. Next is Shunner Law, which takes all like the best parts of SAO and just makes the whole anime about that. Next is Shield Hero Season 3, which the first episodes was kind of redeeming like the show. They also had this baddie in it, but the anime started to fall apart at the end. The last episode is like some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in anime. So Raftalia is wearing like this kimono, and then the fucking village gets bombed by like these ninjas because for some reason she's like royalty, which like the offer just like he just like bullshits this like out of nowhere, and then now he's like, fuck it, we're gonna go to war with this whole ass country for some reason. I was like so honestly like shocked and appalled by watching this episode. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Next is Goblin Slayer Season 2, which got hit by the Shield Hero dogshit raid. This season's done by a different studio, and you can just tell like the quality's way down. Next is Dr. Stone and Tokyo Revengers, which are part 2s, finishing off their arcs from earlier in the year. And finally, the most important moment of the year was Attack on Titan finally ending. And honestly, I really liked the ending. I know some people really didn't, but overall, I thought it fucking was a perfect way for the show to go out. Now for the most important part of the review is Anime of the Year. And what is it gonna be? Is it Rena Peak, Peak, or 100 Peaks that I really love? Well, if you've been paying attention, there's one show I haven't mentioned yet. Now going into Frieren, I had my shield up because I knew the first chapter was like kind of sad. So I didn't cry at like the first episode, but eventually like the anime just broke me. And this is a spell that the anime just cast on you. Everything to its animation, music, and like voice acting is just all so beautiful and just like has so much effort behind it. And I think the episode that like shows these qualities off the best is episode 6. After Frieren meets up with one of her old party members, she decides to go get his apprentice named Stark from a village. When they meet up with Stark, they find out the reason why he's been living in this village for 3 years. It just so happened when he arrived, the dragon attacking the village fled. So he was seen as their hero, and he felt obligated to the village to stay. But in those 3 years, he's refused to fight the dragon because he knows how weak he is. But eventually, Frieren convinces Stark to help them fight the dragon. As long as he can hold it off for 30 seconds for them to attack it. This is what we got.
道理で村が襲われなくなったわけだ。
This scene just literally left me like stunned. Like I couldn't, like I was like, I can't even fucking put it to words now. Like it's just so fucking beautifully animated. And the whole show has like moments like this. And that's why I made it my anime of the year, which was my plan when coming into this video. But I just can't ignore Oshinoko. I also loved it so much. And it also just had so many great moments. So I'm giving both of these anime of the year. Fuck it. No one watches these videos. Alright, see you gamers.
今まで何度も繰り返してきた。だけど今回はあんたたちがいる。